All right, I've been super busy working out days. Today's the non-workout day, but lots of plumbing going on and washing and drying towels because of the plumbing. So our contributor pointed out that on our date of the 18th, which all goes back to when The Dark Knight came out, 7/18. He's going to rise on September 20. When The Dark Knight Rises came out. It's a spiritual rising. That's all it is. It's just Satan possessing his body through a ritual and then running World War III. So let's get on with it. I want to go ahead and knock out the tabs first. 2001, A Space Odyssey is big. So is the music. And the Underdog TV show is the tabs I have up. Let's look at that right now because there's underdog betting and they were advertising for the UFC fight, which is the big ritual before the event of the 18th. Dana White's always introducing Donald Trump. He introduced him at the RNC, talked to him before the debate. And so he's always ushering him into the UFC events. He'll be at this UFC event, I'm sure, at the Sphere, which is nothing more than the AI or the ghost of the machine running all that technology, making it all supernatural and all that kind of stuff. And so Dana White is like the John the Baptist type character for all that, okay? And in their upside down world, that's his role. He's making the way for anti-Jesus, who will seemingly have risen from the dead to the world at what is known as the abomination of desolation, as the whole earth will think he has come back from the dead and put an end to World War III, who can make war with the beast. And because the earth will be extremely supernatural at the time of the abomination of desolation, all goats are handed over to it. That's why that one fake preacher who keeps saying Trump's the Antichrist, but then he throws you down all these wrong rabbit holes telling you all this other kind of stuff. Yeah, brother. he I've seen his hand signals before. I know who he is. He's Mystery Babylon. He's what you call controlled op, because you can say Trump's the Antichrist all day long, but all goats are going to be handed over to it. They're going to worship the image of the beast. They're going to be possessed, and which is what the mark of the beast is. Jesus seals his, or God seals his on their foreheads also. It's a spiritual sealing. Nothing more, nothing less. That's why it says, shall mingle themselves with the seed of man. So anyway, you get up in here, number of episodes for this Underdog TV series, because Trump was born Year of the Dog, and there's Underdog betting now. That's the name of a betting, Underdog gambling. The following states where Underdog Fantasy Pick'em or Pick'em Arena is legal. Florida is one of them. Mr. Big State, so on and so forth. The Underdog TV series began October 3rd. Remember, October 2nd is, when you spell it out, is Donald Trump, 138 in simple gematria. Trump born Year the Dog. He is Sirius the Dog Stars, all about him, all about the Antichrist. October 3rd, the following day, 1964, is when Underdog came out. If you run it to our 18 date, it's 22266. 66 stands for Book of Revelation. That's why Trump's penthouse is the 66th floor, even though it's 58 stories. You see that 2226? 6? Remember, my number is 7 times 6 times 1961. It divides evenly by 37, like everybody else born 1961. And my number is 2226. When you divide it by 37, it divides evenly. 22266, Underdog. On the rising day, on the 20th, the spiritual rising, 22268. 60 years, 11 months, 17 days. So you have your Revelation 11:7, fused with 1117 on the rising day. 68 is also Antichrist and one of the 4 base ciphers. And if we run it to the 8016 day, let me check something real quick. Okay. Do you know that it's 11 months, 16 days, which anytime you see 116, that's a backwards upside down 911, and it's 731 months, 16 days. So it's 73116. Remember, they had that at the Back to the Future Lone Pine Mall, Twin Pine Mall. One of the times on that was that. All right. If you run the ending of Underdog to the rising day, it's 21,002 days, 57 years, 6 months, 16 days. Not a whole lot to it, but that's okay. If you run it to the 86ing day, when it ended, I'm sorry, it's 21,018. But more importantly, 57 years, 6 months, 14 days. 6/14 is Trump's birthday. Let's keep going. We'll get to 2001: A Space Odyssey at the end. I forgot to prep that. Other prepped items. October 2nd, 1992, when Glengarry Glen Ross came out. 116, 76 on the rising day, which is a backwards upside down 9/11. 9/11 was all about the rising. If you run it to the 86ing day and include both dates. Oh, by the way, Glengarry Glen Ross, Alec Baldwin was the main star with the main big speech, had the big scene that makes the movie famous. The movie came out on October 2nd, again, which comes to Donald Trump and Simple Gematria 138. The movie to the 86ing day, 31 years, 11 months, 17 days, if you include both dates. Zechariah 11:17 is the right eye wound Bible verse. It's also 383 months. 38 is murder. 83 is murder in the base ciphers. 38 is death in one of the base ciphers. Goodness gracious, people of the earth. Seriously. Glengarry Glen Ross in the URL 104. Remember, on the event day, there's 104 days left in the year. It's 104,348. 34 is murder in reverse ordinal, like 48 is Donald Trump in reverse ordinal. Fascinating. I went ahead and looked up the zip codes that are our dates. There is a 91824 zip code. It's in Alhambra, California. There is a 92024 zip code, the rising day. It's in Encinitas, Carlsbad, and San Marcos, California. Fascinating. The bullet, Valentina Shevchenko, the bullet, who carries a bullet with her, who is performing at the Sphere in the co-main event. You know what the bullet comes to on the bullet day of 9/18, 4 days after the Sphere? 13,344 days. How old are you? What's the first 3 digits there? 13.3. Revelation 13.3 is the first time deadly wound is mentioned. Deadly wound, but did live. She is 438 in the months. If you run her to the rising day and include both dates, she's born 1988 also. 36 years. 36 is Adam. Remember, he's the Black Adam in Jewish Gematria. 36 years, 6 months, 14 days, Trump's birthday. Merab Dvalishvili, who is in the main event, born January 10th, 1991. When you run him to the Sphere event when he's performing, or to the 86ing day, or to the rising day, he's 404 months. That's how many verses are in Revelation. 33 years, 8 months, 338, 33, fused with a 38, which is death or murder, depending on which cipher. Mind-boggling. 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 What else did I have prepped? So that's everything. Let's now go to our prep in the email. Our contributor said, we told you the other day about the shot heard around the world comes to 9/11. It was Wednesday, April 19th, 1775. When you run that to the 86ing day, it came to a perfect 9/11. He's including both dates, so it came to September 19th, but it comes clean to our September 18th date without including both dates. That's just beyond fascinating. Franz Ferdinand shot heard around the world. That's what started World War I. 110 years, the height of the Twin Towers, 11 weeks, 16 days, 11/6. Again, is your backwards, upside down 9/11. They love that. It's also 1322 months, 22 days to our event. The Franz Ferdinand. None of these events were real. Neither was Lincoln's. JFK's got a lot of theories on that. That might have been the first clone pop, or he was dying of some disease, but no, like he just took one for the team. But no, I think instead of dying a suffering death, just like, dude, blow my head off. But no, I don't think. I think it was more maybe possibly the first time they had done cloning. Remember they said they cloned a sheep, making fun of the sheep in 1995. Folks, they've been cloning humans. They showed you in the movie The Prestige, they were cloning in the late 1800s. So Dan Scavino, he posted it on 1/12/2024. This guy reposted on 1/13 from the 9/19 to 9/20, 8 months, 8 days, or exactly 36 weeks. Talking about let's go and deliver a shot heard around the world in Iowa or something like that. I mean, these people, it's always the same goofy stuff. The the Lions patch with 9/11. Remember, our Lord is a roaring lion, and Satan, of course, I do believe was compared to a roaring lion. Looking at whomever he can devour. So the Lions did their 90th anniversary patch. It looks exactly like 9/11. Our contributor says, from the day that patch was unveiled to 9/18 is 1 year, 160 days. There's your backwards, upside down 9/11 again, which they love doing things upside down. They love doing things backwards. RFK Jr. endorsed Trump for POTUS. The 17th letter of the alphabet dummies believe that JFK Jr. is coming back to support Trump from his FAKED airplane crash on 7/16/1999 to 1918 is exactly 302 months, 2 days. Drop the zero, it's 322 code. Fascinating. He's getting a lot of pings for 9/17. That's the start date for the eclipse. The premiere of Silence of the Lambs, he said, was 33 years, 33 weeks prior to 9/17, or 33 years, 33 weeks, 3 days prior to 9/20, the rising day. It's good stuff right there. Dana introduced Trump at the Spear is the ritual before the event. Dana was the intro. The sphere is the intro, or it's the ritual. The main event is the main event is 10. The main event is 109:18 days old at the Sphere night. The date of the event is 9/18. I don't know what I meant by the main event is 10 old at the night of the Sphere. We need to look at the Sphere also. We'll do that, like when the Sphere was introduced. Hang on just a second. Let me pause. Our contributor said Trump has a rally in Tucson, which on 9/12, well, I guess, which is today, of course. And then in Las Vegas on 9/13, the Spear event is the next day on 9/14. So we're assuming he'll be there. I don't think that's when the event's going to take place. The Archduke's Franz Ferdinand. So, yep, we already went over that. He had texted me that. Lee Harvey Oswald turns 1019 months old on 9/18/24, 119, which is Donald in the simple gematria, or it's a backwards 9/11. Since it does both, it's a big number, because doing something, hitting two different ciphers is big. World War II started on 9/1/1939, or 47 days prior to Oswald's birth. There's that 47 number. By the way, the JFK assassination on 11/22 to our 86ing day, 222 code, which divides evenly by 37, as all of them do, 666, 777. But 222 is from Genesis 2:22, or the rib from Adam. That's why in Gainesville, Devil's Advocate University, they have a rib company called Adam's Rib Company. Not ribs, Adam's Rib. And that was all about Eve, which represents the Whore of Babylon or the church, depending on their upside down world or our Lord's, as Christ is Adam to the church, or he's like Adam. That's what the movie Black Adam was about, was the Antichrist version. So, believe it or not, from the JFK to our event day, it's 22216. 216 is 6 times 6 times 6, and or James Bond's license tag, except in No Time to Die when it was 4269. Yep, 22216. 216 fused with 222. Or 22. Remember, the 22nd prime number is 79, and 79 is murder in civil gematria. District 22, because of that, was on the bus that the Joker came out of at the beginning of The Dark Knight. So it's 22,216 days. On the rising day, then, it's going to be, of course, 22218, which is 6 plus 6 plus 6. So you're getting 666 as 6 times 6 times 6 on the 86ing day, and 6 plus 6 plus 6 on the rising day. Remember, that's why Alabama always has, ESPN always has the 79 on the football player's jersey on the bobblehead as they begin college game day. 79 is murder in simple gematria, but it's why they always have the Alabama helmet as 18, because they, of course, represent the Ghost in the Machine University, and we've been over that a billion times. As Florida represents Devil's Advocate University, Nick Satan, all the coaches refer to him as that, and had to apologize, and, called Truth in Plain Sight. There's his rally. So the going to be in New York City just the same. And on that night, the rally will be in Long Island, just down the road from Trump Tower. So his event could take place at the rally or somewhere in New York City. New York City. Pace. Picante sauce. I'm sorry. I'm delirious. I'm very tired. So I'm just going to fall flat here with comedy. Harris wins. Live in exile. Trump 9/11, worst performance of career. 60 million viewers. Drudge Report yesterday. Oh, I'm sorry. It says Trump's 9/11. That's why he sent it to me. The Drudge Report's headline was Trump's 9/11, worst performance of career. I mean, what in the world, people? They're just. Drudge Report says the end. It's fascinating. Trump's mother died exactly 8808 days prior to 9/18. Well, what in tarnation? Now, the lunar eclipse was always good for the rising day because iPad Goat shows them rising up through a full moon. But I think that full moon is on October 17th, which the new moon of that is on October 2nd. It's a Ring of Fire solar. October 2nd spelled out as Donald Trump. If nothing occurs on the 18th or 16th or the 18th or the 25th or the 27th, we will be looking extremely strongly at September 30th, rising on October 2nd, or the event taking place on October 2nd. Of course we will. Batman Begins premiere 5/31/05 to 9/18 is 19 years, 110 days. That means on the 25th, which would have him rising on 9/27 per the Bible verse, that means it would be 19 years, 117 days, which 9/11 was about the rising, and it's 9/11 would be fused 19117 fused with what 9/11 was all about. Revelation 11:7. September was once the seventh month, so it was really 7/11. But most countries write it backwards from us, so it was really about 11/7. How many times have we been over that? Yale University founding 10/9/1701 to 9/18 is 322 years, 11 months, 9 days. It is going to be 11/16, 322, 11/16 on the 25th. Elon Musk Caesar assassination tweet. Assassination of Julius Caesar, March 15th, 44 BC. The tweet to the 18th, 101 weeks, 3 days. Or 1 year, 11 months, 9 days to the 18th. Add 7 to that, it's 1 year, 11 months, 16 days on the 25th. Tuesday, September 11th, 2001. "121 Antichrist," and we showed y'all that earlier, and I think he's including both dates. I'm not sure, but maybe it's not. I can't remember when we did it, but yeah, it's 1201 weeks. Drop the zero, of course. 121 Antichrist. You just sent us something on Home Alone 2. 214 or 213 if you run 211 1972. I can't remember what that was. But when I sent it, I knew exactly what it was. Oh, it was the opening of the of this Uniondale place where he's going to be. That's what it was. So this Uniondale place that he's going to be, this arena or this place, 666 is in the minutes when you run it to the 18th. It's 52 years, 7 months, 7 days, 19,213 days. Remember, 213 was the release of No Time to Die song. If you include both dates, it turns into 214, which is Valentine's Day, but it's also the 214th verse is Revelation 13:3 of Revelation. So the opening to Groundhog Day 2009, 36 years, 11 months, 22 days. I've always told you how the Groundhog Day of 2009 is one of the key ciphers for the event. Key cipher. Key cipher. I already told you all about that. George W. Bush quotes, "Do you not think an angel rides in the whirlwind and directs this storm?" This was Page in a letter to Thomas Jefferson, and then Bush quoted it. That took place on July 20th, 1776. July 20th. Again, Dark Knight Rises release date, but really about his rising day on the other 7/20, September, once the 7th month, September 20th. This is all about why I think a Category 5 hurricane will hit mid-Florida, Polk County, right when this event takes place, or on the rising day, or when the event takes place. Because we remember Devil's Advocate University playing the Hurricanes. Spurrier, born in Miami. The Hurricanes always beat Florida. They have the winning record over Florida by 3 games. They demolished Florida. The Antichrist is the storm. Trump said, "I am the storm." That's how they handle hurricanes. They spray up there, which gives the fallen angels, Satan is the prince of the power of the air, which gives the fallen angels the ability to then manipulate weather. It's part of their fallen angel technology. Dana White always introducing. We went over that, but I added to it. Said he introduced him at the RNC, talked to him before the debate. The Sphere, AI 100%. The event, the 14th, is ushering in ritual of the event that we currently see taking place on the 18th. The Kobe event was on 126. And don't forget, the sentencing is on 1/126. It's on 11/26. So you see how they're fusing all that together. And of course, that 126 ritual on the day of the Grammys, and the Grammys were all about Kobe. Boy, how did they know to have it all set up for him and their fake staged event? It was the ritual that took place before 311 and 313. If we look at the amount of days, that would be 5 days. plus 29 days. It's 34 days plus 11 days. That's 45 days. So it was 45 days and then 47 days from the Kobe event. Let's look at that. Kobe Grammy ritual to 2020. I could have just kept 2024 in there, but we'll keep the visuals the same. Yep. 45 days. I can do math in my head. Aren't you impressed? It's 3888 in the seconds. 3888000. So that means on 313, when Mr. Big did the deed in the US of A, it was 47 days, his agenda 47. So you see what they did there. Now, if we run the sphere as the ritual and add the 45 days, like the Grammys was the ritual, the event would take place on October 29th, and he would rise on Halloween, which is the beginning of Day of the Dead. So we'll try to keep that in mind. All right. We'll try to keep that in mind. Hang on just a quick second. So our contributor did say that this is the one that Trump appears in, Home Alone 2. Home Alone 2, 2919 or 920. It's your 311 code, which is it's opposite 9/11, and it's also opposite 11/3, which is when One World Trade Tower came out. So it's perfect for the rising date. We love that. All right, we'll get to other stuff later. I'm glad y'all are here. Love you.